Brotherhood Blank approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as.
All right.
You're looking bright right now. Yeah.
I know. But fuck it. Got to get it done. Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as Fuck. Good evening. Good day. Buenas tardes. My name is Alexander. I'm here with my co-host, the one and only, at the secret, unofficial, official headquarters of Black as Fuck, the one and only B. Walt. B. Walt, say something to the peoples, all 7 of them.
Something to the peoples, all 7 of them.
That's right. He just said what I said. And we're going to keep pushing. BLACKAZFUK. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter. Our website is www.blackafhq.com, where you can join our show every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's right. Zooms and Zoomettes, come through. We're going to be here. Yes, indeed. All right, that's enough of my Kevin Theo voice. You don't even know who that is because you didn't grow up here in the 90s, but it's, yeah, back to our regular scheduled programming. How you doing, B? It's been like forever. It's been like a week since I spoke to you. You good?
Has it been a week?
I
lose track of the days. I lose track of the days.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. You got shit to do. You got a life. You know what I mean?
Nigga, you busy too. You know that?
Yeah. I know. No. But it's about you right now. Just what's going on with you, man?
Bruh, look, okay.
My brother.
Rich people problems right now.
Okay.
Rich people problems. I'm deciding whether or not to keep my Mustang and turn it into a project car and put in the Voodoo engine and all these things that I've been thinking about doing, right? Or getting rid of it and getting, well, okay, so I'm deciding whether or not to keep it and still get this other whip that I want,
or trade it in,
or
put
should
it
I
towards
trade it in and still get said whip?
I say you hold on to it.
Nigga, I'm trying to hold on to it because
you got the room.
If I hold on to it for another 13 years or so, I think it'll be what do they call it? A classic.
A classic.
And what I want to do to it is I want to drop this Voodoo engine in there, which, if I am correct, the Voodoo is shit. What is it? I know it's at least 10 cylinders. I'm gonna be scared to drive this bitch.
You're gonna be hitting PCH every fucking Saturday. Nigga, where you at? I'm by the beach, nigga.
Nah, it's a V. It's if I'm remembering it correctly, it's a V8 engine. But the cost of that motherfucker is crazy.
Now, would you be watching Fast and Furious before you get into this car or after?
I got Fast and Furious right there. So I'd probably install a mini, what I want to do is I want to put the little, I'm trying to hook the whole thing up. So on the inside, I'm going to have dual screens and shit like that. So it'll be playing. I'm going to have Dom in there while the nigga is.
Talk about family while you going 117 miles on La Cienega.
I am Groot and family.
Right. And the Iron Giant. That's his best role. But that's a whole nother subject. I also see you flexing the He-Man shit right there. I see it.
Oh, he's been there, bro, but I haven't even watched the Netflix shit. I want to.
Well, you know what? We got to get this out the way, fam. So I'm going to do... I really don't have to dance around much, to be honest, because, well, for a lot of different reasons, and most of them ain't good. But the one that is slightly positive is that the fact is Kevin Smith started this series, and we're jumping right into it. This is our review of Netflix Masters of the Universe Revelations He-Man. It dropped last week. The episodes begin right after the last episode of the show in the 80s. So I think you actually have them on DVD, knowing you.
He-Man, the original? No, you know what? Because they had the original on Netflix for a minute. I went back and I looked at it, and that shit really don't fucking hold up. Like, I couldn't get through like 2 episodes. I'm like, fuck this shit. So,
okay.
No, I did not.
Well, all right. Well, let's see. Let's just go on and get into it. This ain't about He-Man. This is not about He-Man. This story is about a lot of things, but He-Man is not one of them. It's more like Teela in the Hood, if I had to sort of like describe it.
Is He-Man in it?
That's a great question. Yes, he is. Prince Adam is in it. I mean, so, all right, this is my perspective, because we talk about the hot shit or the not hot shit on this show because we watch it, usually because we're fans of it. And as of lately, it's been hot fire, right? You got your Loki, we already know. The Fat Tweets, you already know. The WandaVision, you already know. The Tresse on Netflix, you already know.
Fire.
Castlevania, you already know. This ain't it though. This is not it. This is none of them. Like, it's not even close either.
Yasin.
Nigga, it's this stay white cousin right here. But it ain't that bad. It's not much as bad as Yasuke. Except Devil May Cry 2 on Big Hit with Lou Diamond Phillips and Mark Wahlberg. But yeah, man, it was definitely disappointing. I don't have but it's not done. It's not done. Like, they got more coming. It's really weird because everything I just listed off, right, has been super dope. So, and this has been like back to back to back, like Netflix, Disney Plus, Netflix, Disney Plus. Like, so wherever we've been going, Invincible, you go to Disney Plus, you go to Netflix, you go to Amazon Prime. Like, it's been nothing but heat. And then this happened, and we talked about that trailer, and I think you were smart to not look at it, even though that trailer was probably the best one I've seen of any of the shows. And it does not hold up to the trailer. The story focuses on Teela and her girl Andra and Evil Lynn, like the other members of Wu-Tang. It focuses on them. And
Is this You God's album?
It's not you, fam. It's not You God's album. It's Inspector Deck's album. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. That's the best way I can put it. Like, you heard that single, you was like, oh, nigga, it's over. That trailer dropped, you was like, oh, it's over. And then you get it, and you was like, oh, man, what is this? Come on. Like, this should have been an easy one. So the story, I mean, whether you watch it or not, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to give it away, but I got to talk about certain shit. Prince Adam, aka He-Man, sacrifices himself early on in the plot, right? And he does it to save Eternia. And then this sends Teela on her version of the hero's journey with her squad. And in the midst of that battle with He-Man sacrificing himself, nigga, we lose Skeletor as well. So episode 1, them two niggas standing next to you, those assholes is gone not 20 minutes into the entire series. So
What the
so
fuck? No, okay. See, no.
yeah.
He pulled a metal. They pulled a Metal Gear Solid 2 on the nigga. That's what it is.
Hey, listen, you nigga. And it's like, and you already know how that can go. You know how that can go. Like, you can do you if you're gonna do that, you gotta, all right, let's see what you got, because it's hard to pull that off. It's hard to pull it off.
So did these niggas even? Did they even?
You've already fought more than they did. Like they didn't fight that much. Like, I mean, you can smack them together like 4 or 5 more times if you want, but it was really about that. Yeah. So you dealing with so on both sides you dealing with the Metal Gear Solid 2 shit. So like Triclops is going around like he's going around like a cult leader, like we're having people come sacrifice themselves to worship this digital god that he's been like he's going around looking like Moses with him and what's my man, not Beast Man, I think it's Trapjaw. Like they going around spreading the gospel about this digital god. It's weird. It's weird. Teela is voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar. She does a great job. But nigga, by episode, I want to say 2 or 3, yeah, by episode 3, Orko was dead, and Roboto was dead. Like it they're not done, so they can fix all this, but they have to fix all this, right? Duncan, aka Man at Arms, aka one of the hardest white men outside of race banding in the 80s. He was getting this thing on. He was doing this thing. I didn't know he was voiced by the guy from Game of Thrones either. That's cool. That worked. But yeah, man, they really wanted to focus on Teela and like how she responded to not knowing about Prince Adam not being He-Man, and then like in the moment finding that out, and then in that moment she loses both of them, like at the same time. And I don't think they did enough in terms of establishing the relationship between the two, especially after a show that's been off for over 30 years. Like, you needed a bit more context than what they gave us. And it's not done, so they can get this shit figured out. And here's the thing, and I won't give you I'm gonna give you the end, but you'll watch it to see how it all flexes out. Skeletor ends up becoming the G of the whole situation. He ends up getting it done. On some like vintage Skeletor shit. But how they go about it, it's like it wasn't long enough and it wasn't compelling enough. The fights were subpar. And especially coming off of Castlevania season 4. And you know what I mean when I say that? Like seeing that and then going to this is like they should have understood this. To me, this is like the Captain Marvel of the MCU run. Like, you watched it because you were expecting it. They've been hot as a pistol. Yeah, I don't want to go to Blockbuster. That's the best way I can put it. But I'm not done with the series, but this is like I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. And that's me being real nice, because this ain't what I intended. This ain't what I expected. They got to do better. The series has got to be longer if you're going to do that. Like, it was only 5 episodes. So.
Wow. So there is going to.
They're going to do all this other stuff, but 5 episodes? Nah,
okay, so they have 5 episodes. Is there going to be a season 2? Do you know this already? Or was it like a trial run kind of thing?
It has to be no. Well, I think the intent was for sure to have a second run. But niggas is mad, yo. Like guys is mad. The girls are mad. You know, and it's you got people on the other side that's like, it's cool. They had a ton of Easter eggs, like, so you got it. So they go to heaven, essentially, right? In the story, it's called Preternian. And you meet the other champions, the other people that were He-Man. So remember how we was talking about He-Man being black? The spiritual, the spirit of He-Man, the guy that was the He-Man was black. They not related. They just connected because, oh, you was He-Man and I was He-Man. Welcome home, my nigga. Good to see you. You trying to get something to eat? We got this chicken. We got these ribs. You know, you can come to the barbecue. Shit like that. And then, but they even dropped the Easter egg because I don't know if you remember this. There was a black armored He-Man back in the day that you could only get with like a prize from like Wonder Bread. Like it looked just like He-Man. He had black armor with like a white logo and his hair was brown as opposed to blonde. He was in He-Man heaven too. He was there. So it was like little Easter eggs like that. But it wasn't enough there, man. Like it just wasn't enough there. Like they needed more. They left you with a cliffhanger. Skeletor is the shit right now. Evil Land got some shine. Orko, you know, he had like a classic Loki moment. Roboto had a classic Loki moment. But it was just like, fuck, man, like this ain't it. And because the fights, I don't know, 5.5. 5.5, because if they end it this way, it's like, all right, you didn't like, you know, you gave it a shot. It is what it is. But they have to get it right. I don't know if they're gonna do it. But if you watch it, when you watch, you'll see that they clearly intended to have a second season. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's the best way I can put it, man. I try not to give everything away, but
it don't matter. I'm not watching the shit. Based on what you just said, there's no reason to watch it. All this does is tell me the He-Man, as far as the quality is concerned, kept up with the consistency when it first came out.
Right.
He-Man has always been trash.
Right.
I couldn't see that when I was a 6-year-old watching it, but me going back on the door, like, this shit isn't, they don't even try. They don't even try. Hasbro created characters and then tried to create a story around it.
Right.
I believe that's the same thing that happened with G.I. Joe, but G.I. Joe did a little bit better. I mean, we got the movie, we got that song, dun, dun, dun. You know, but with He-Man, we ain't get shit, bro.
No. Masters of the Universe live action movie was the best thing that ever happened in that He-Man universe. And that movie slept on because...
You talking about the Dolph Lundgren one, bro?
I love that shit, bro.
Nigga.
I love that shit.
Hey, you know what's down here, bro.
Nigga, I know. Me and the couch and that fucking DVD. Oh, for sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Skeletor looked kind of G in that shit, too.
Skeletor, yeah.
You
talking about the movie or the Netflix?
In the movie.
Oh, the actor did his thing. He got his full-on monologue for 3 minutes on. He was
we didn't already transition past the Netflix shit.
You did. You done.
But fucking Courtney Cox was in that shit back in the day when she was still fine. And then the girl who played Teela, she was cold. You know what I'm saying? Man at Arms. I don't know who played him, but he was beastie in that shit. The movie is weak. The story is weak. But I mean, for a kid watching that shit, bro, come on, man, that shit was cold. And I know you on the same level with me. You know, when you talk about the brunettes and shit, I already know. So, Courtney Cox was brunetting it up in that fucking flick, bro. I was like 9 years old. I don't even think I knew how my dick worked yet, and I was like, damn.
Full kid dick mode.
This is some shit I need to research. You know what? I
Oh,
need to see. Here it is right here, bro. Look, here it is right here. This is it.
yeah, man.
This
Yeah,
shit
man.
came out. When did this shit drop?
What was that 87, 86?
87, bro. Yeah, I'm 7 years old watching this shit.
Nigga, you was probably 6.
That's true. Yeah, because it came out in the summertime. Can you
Right.
see? Can you see Courtney Cox on there?
I can't see. That's Andrew McCarthy next to her, right?
I don't know.
I think he was the like the human character in that story, if I remember correctly.
Frank Langella was the one who played Skeletor. That dude been in
Mm,
a lot of shit.
yeah, yeah. London actor, British actor, I think. Um, yeah, bro. Like, I ain't gonna say it's. Again, I'm holding out hope that they're gonna get it right on the second one, but this one, nigga, no, no, not after everything, not after what we went through with Loki, and specifically Castlevania, because that was their last Netflix thing, other than Trace, and Trace was dope too. Like,
We were
yeah, bro,
we was
yeah,
down. We were down. At some point, we knew we were gonna get a bad one because
right,
it was like, I mean, nobody bats 1,000.
no, no,
Even though,
no,
I mean, let's be fair, we're talking about team animation. Uh, Marvel is the one coming in batting 1,000. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Marvel's killing. If this is
right.
all full on team animation, Marvel is killing it. I'm looking forward to Trace, but Yasuke and He-Man,
E-Man, nah, man.
yeah, these niggas need to go to the minors, bro.
They
Like,
at the
we
they at the
good.
end of the bar, bro. They ain't getting
Triple
no
A,
pussy,
Triple A, get out of here, bro. We good.
niggas. Fucking summer ball. Yeah, I was like
Rec league on the weekends with the fat niggas that used to be athletic. That's where they belong. I'm
Al
good.
Bundy and them.
Right. I'm not finna even watch this shit. I'm cool.
Yeah,
He-Man's not in it, and they calling it He-Man. Like, that's real fucking Metal Gear Solid 2 shit. And Metal Gear was able to pull it off, but
I mean, they pissed a lot of people off though. Like, that wasn't a clean sort of getaway for them. And don't get me wrong, like they find a way to, get He-Man sprinkled in there, but it's just that. It's just like it's kind of like it's bait and switch shit, and then they kind of like give you crumbs of them because they know he really ain't. This really ain't his story. This is Teela's story.
I have
Like
a question.
Teela's the main character.
I have a rhetorical question. It really is rhetorical. Uh, when people come out, when movies come out, when entities create pieces of entertainment that turn out to be absolute ass, they turn out to be absolute ass. They know, right? They know they're pushing out bullshit, right?
Yeah, but
They know this shit is weak, right? Like, here's the thing. When actors come and they do the interview with the actor, and the actor is like, oh, yeah, it's a great time. I'm here with a lot of great people, and it's a fun project, and it's going to be a great, they got to say that shit. It's in their contract that they almost got to big up the shit that they're doing. It's in we know that. But when the entity is creating some shit that is trash and they push it out to the people, the shit be garbage. Like, I refuse to believe that box office flops are things that people don't know are going to flop. Somebody on that team somewhere is like, this is just not a good fucking idea.
I think I don't disagree with you. I think each situation is different. I think, but I mean, what have we been dealing with though? Like, what have me and you been dealing with? Too many cooks in the kitchen. Motherfuckers got different agendas, right? And
yeah, but like
people overvaluing their opinion and thinking they can do certain things. Like,
no, but
yeah,
see, I mean, it's a little bit different, man, because like I'm looking at, okay, let's take for instance, what was that dude's name? The dude who played Gambit in the Wolverine, Taylor Kirsch,
Emil Hirsch,
Taylor Kirsch or whatever. He came
uh,
out with a movie called John.
Oh, is that him?
I think that was Homeboy. He
Disney
came
movie.
out with Taylor. Ain't Taylor Kirsch? Kitsch. Kitsch. His last name is
Yeah,
Kitsch. He
and he
came
had
out with
that.
John. He came out with John Carter, which was an absolute bomb. An
Right,
absolute fucking bomb. And the thing is, I like shit like that, so I watched it anyway because I don't like to listen to the critics. I want to see
right,
if the shit is cold. And
right.
I watched that shit, and it was pretty bad. It's like somebody somewhere got to know. No, somebody somewhere got to know this shit is bad. Like I refuse to believe you got a whole team of motherfuckers working on this shit and they don't know it's bad. Like Cyberpunk 2077. Them niggas knew this shit was garbage before they released it. They kept saying this shit gonna be the coldest shit ever before, they kept saying it. But niggas knew. They was like, man, this shit is gonna crash systems. This
You
shit is
about to
gonna be
brick
bad.
your shit.
This shit is
Your
about to brick the PS4, right? It works well on PS5. I mean, it's got a couple of glitches. On the PS5, it works. But they knew at the time that the majority of the market is going to be for the PS4 and the Xbox, whatever that shit was before the XS, right? They knew the shit was garbage. They knew it. So it's like, why
But
the
you know
fuck do
the
you do that? Like, I mean, I understand not all games and movies are going to be on the same level. It's impossible. There's too many moving parts. But some people know they shit is like, this shit is trash. Who thought He-Man without He-Man would be a good fucking idea? Like, it makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense.
and 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 it's the way like yeah, like if you're gonna do certain things, like He-Man need to get his rocks off before he get out of there. Like, and that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like he gets down a little bit, but if I know this dude's about to leave, and this is like if Michael Jordan's about to go leave us for the entire season, not like him just getting hit with David Stern's secret suspension and saying, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about game one. He didn't blow his Achilles out. He didn't Kobe the situation. Kobe go shoot the free throws. He-Man got to shoot his free throws before you get the fuck out of there. You can't just pull the motherfucker out the game and then think it's gonna be cool. And then even there were just like some fundamental shit I had an issue with, like story context. But it comes down to money, I think, to your situation and what you're talking about, because motherfuckers don't like reshooting anything at all. Like reshoots is like pandemic to a motherfucking Hollywood producer, right? And it makes me think of remember Back to the Future was done twice. Like,
Yeah,
like,
but
you know what I'm saying? Like my
the
man
finished
Zemeckis saw
product,
right, but he got to see it with Eric, and it was like, nah, I need Michael. And it was and then the rest is history. Like he said he wasn't getting the laughs he wanted. They literally let him film that entire fucking movie twice. So that type of shit's rare in quote unquote Hollywood, whatever that is.
but the thing is, you put the story together, you put the right pieces in place, you get people who are known to have a good eye for the filming and the editing and stuff like that, and you're gonna get something that's solid. Shit is total ass. People be knowing the shit is ass, but they still push it out there.
Right.
Hoping
Right.
what? Hoping what? I refuse to believe that bombs are a surprise. I can't, in my mind, I mean, because Hollywood been around for forever. The mechanisms have been around for forever, right?
Right.
The key players generationally have been around for a while, right? So you know who you need to get involved with certain things, like as far as writing is concerned, voice actors, whatever you want to say. You know who you got to get involved to make the shit go. And the thing is, if you make it go, you're going to make that money back. And then some, which is the point, right? Low budget, high return kind of thing, or lower budget to the return to be considered a decent movie. And the return has to be a lot higher than the budget was for it to be considered high. But if the shit garbage and you know it's garbage, what makes you think you're going to make this fucking money back? Yeah, the Chicago twang came out. If the shit is trash, and you know the shit is trash.
Well, so like, I mean, I get what you're saying, but especially with a known commodity such as He-Man, like this isn't something that's original or high concept, right? Like we're not trying to, create a new recipe here.
No, not at all. They
Like,
right. They didn't
yeah,
even. But the thing is, from what you tell me, they didn't try to reinvent the wheel. They took 3 of them bitches off and said, "Now you got a unicycle."
right?
You
No,
know what
no,
I'm saying?
that's
Like,
exactly. They got one of them one wheelers, them like skateboards with just a big ass fucking wheel in the middle. He-Man. No, wait, sorry, wrong octave. He-Man, Teela. Yeah, man. Like, and it ain't nothing. Like, I don't want somebody to get the wrong idea. Like, I'm against female characters, something like that. It just wasn't compelling enough. Like, this should have been the side story. Like, if He-Man sort of like died right in the beginning, and then he has to go through this spiritual journey where he has to talk to all the other champions, the other He-Mans before him, and they have like, they have a lesson for him as he progresses, and then we get the check back on Teela throughout what she's got going on. That's a better narrative to me, and that's some shit that just came out my fucking mind right now. Like, because you got fucking He-Man, like you don't put him on the bench like that.
if it's called He-Man, it should be about He-Man. If you want to make a Teela series, go ahead. She was cold. You can do that.
Got no problem with Teela. That's Duncan's daughter. She don't fuck around.
Because She-Ra had a remake at one point. I don't know how good it was, but it was a She-Ra remake centered around She-Ra.
She-Ra.
That beat cold. I don't know why niggas ain't sampled that shit. That
It's
shit
wait,
go.
it waiting on you, nigga.
That shit go. Don't fuck around. Hey, I was fucking dust off the shit. That shit is a
DJ
cold beat.
Toast.
Toast. Picky. No.
Why they call you Toast? I'm about to butter these bitches up.
Nah. I only play a song for 7 seconds, nigga. 7 seconds.
We cooking, nigga. We cooking.
7 seconds. Like, I thought I knew what it was. Nope. No, you don't. Next song. Bruh. That beat is cold. That beat is cold. I'm just thinking about all the movies that we watched that was bomb movies, right? Or anything you've seen that was just not good. Like, motherfuckers knew before they put it out there. And I know, you got time constraints and there's pressures to get the, but nigga, like, come on. Like, remember, I've only walked out of one movie in my life. One movie. I usually force myself to sit through shit if I pay for it.
What
walked out
movie
of
is that?
one movie, and it was
Which
that
one?
Vin Diesel shit. And I like Vin Diesel. I don't think he's a great actor, but I fucks with him when I see him and shit. You know
Oh, Chronicles of Riddick.
It was that Chronicles bullshit. I walked out on that shit. The only movie I ever walked out on. And it was just so bad. It was so fucking bad. It was like, come on, man.
It's funny. I honestly didn't think it was that bad, but I hadn't seen it.
I was sick.
I haven't seen it since opening day, so I don't.
One,
Pitch Black is killer.
Bro, I like the first one. So we went in, I remember because I was still of college age at that point.
Yep.
And we went in to see that shit, and at the time, I mean, the movie theater, shit only cost $6.50 down on campus, bro. So it was me and the girl I was dating at the time. $13. $13 date, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I left that $13 at the door. I was like, fuck this movie. Fuck this shit. This shit is so bad. I think I got about 45 minutes into it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Now, years later, I went back and I watched the whole thing.
How'd it go?
I was like, I made the right decision. This shit is ass. This shit is absolutely ass. I kept waiting for this shit to get good. It never did. I'm like, and you know how like when you watching the DVD, you click the button so you can see how much time is left? I'm like, nigga, we legit got 17 minutes left and this shit is still bad. When is it gonna get good? I'm waiting. It never got good, bro. It never got fucking good. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, I almost spit this fucking water out.
I'm just saying, like, niggas know when they release shit, the shit is trash. And like I said, you can't, if an actor phones in they shit, okay, fine. You can say the actor didn't do a good job. But when an actor promotes their movie, they gotta do that. You get that shit. But like when it comes to the entities that's creating this shit, come on, man, have a little bit more integrity. Niggas don't want to see no ass shit. We don't want to see shit just garbage.
Yeah, because this took a while. Like they had been promoting this one for a while.
Man, it was at least last year.
I think it was even before then. I think, I think it was before 2020, to be honest. But yeah, you take all that in consideration, and it was like you had all this time. You knew all these other projects was going on, and I'm sure somebody at Netflix got to say it's okay. You know, like you got to get the pass from them, and I'm sure Castlevania's down the street somewhere making some classic. You know, let's bring in Isaac again, right?
I'm
you know
sure
what I'm
the niggas that's writing Castlevania got homies that's doing this He-Man shit.
Right.
Like, look, bro, this is what you got to do. Like,
nah. See, all you die right here is blue, and then it'd be like blue and cream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man,
this has been the best shitty review we've ever given. I'll say that. That's for sure.
I'ma just look, bro. Look, you turn me off. I don't even want to watch it. Look, everything else that you brought up since we started doing this shit, I at least tried to watch at least the episode. Even Yasuke, Trashake, whatever the fuck we name it at, I watched it, but I can't. I'm not even gonna turn He-Man on. And I was actually looking forward to that shit. Like I was legit looking forward to that shit. Nigga, I got the fucking figurines on my fucking.
You found the leg, nigga. I know the story. Like I remember, I was there.
I found the leg.
And I was like, I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching, I was like, damn, because I think Phil is the bigger He-Man fan out of the two of us, right? And so I was disappointed for you. Like, damn, this nigga's not. He's not gonna be feeling this shit. He not. It's just, yeah, bro. It just wasn't there.
There's a place for all genres of shit if you do it right. Like you can have the senseless violence, you can have the action and adventure shit that doesn't really have a story. But if you do it well, it still works. Then you can have the shit just completely dialogue driven, you know. And if you do it well, it works. Like in my head, a movie that I like, Ocean's 11. I love it because of the dialogue and the actors were fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. Like it was a great fucking movie for what it was. You're not gonna watch that shit for action. Because George Clooney at this point had to have been in his 40s. He wasn't doing too much shit. I think there was one point where he slid down a rope or whatever. But for the most part, you know what you're getting into. With He-Man, you know what that is. Like it's supposed to be this big muscular nigga fighting these monsters. It should have been very Castlevania-esque, I would have assumed.
Right. And that was the thing I really had an issue with. Like, this is the same house that gave us Castlevania. And even the first season of Castlevania, which had, you know, it all came together in season 4. I think we both agree on that. You know, you can have your opinions about 1, 2, and 3, but just in comparison to season 1, like I remember watching Castlevania season 1 and be like, okay, that was cool. That wasn't bad at all. They got to get the next one right. And they fixed some shit. And you know, it was like, all right, it's getting better. This one didn't even meet that standard. It just didn't. It was kind of like they had this big sort of cliffhanger that they wanted to drop on everybody. But the way they got there, it's kind of like when you get a breakaway dunk, as opposed to like you cross the nigga up at half court and then punch on the rest of the team. It's a dunk, but the way you got there matters. Like that gets on the highlight reel, and one of them doesn't, and it's just like, yeah, like it was just like disappointing. Like everything was just kind of okay, blase blah. Like everything, the animation was blase blah, the story was blase blah, the He-Man shit on top of that, The cliffhanger was okay, but I just didn't like how they went about it. It just wasn't long enough. Like you can't do 5 episodes of Teela, and then after you telling us it's gonna be He-Man, and then Kevin Smith got on the whole thing because niggas is mad. It ain't just us. I don't know if this quote's consistent. I don't know if it's from him, but he's like, it wasn't no bait and switch. You think we're not gonna make a show with He-Man and we call it fucking He-Man? You think Mattel Television is gonna let that happen? And it's like, well, yeah, it's kind of like exactly what you did. That's exactly how I feel.
You know what? If there was 10 episodes and the first 5 didn't have He-Man and He-Man showed up, that would have been fixable. But now, I mean, think about how long it takes to make these things. You got 5 episodes in the books that's considered season 1, right? They're done. That's
right.
Season 1.
Right.
It's gonna take another year. Niggas ain't gonna care. Nobody's going to care now. No one's going to care now. And that's just, look, that's storytelling 101. You don't dangle the candy in front of their face and not at some point give it to them. You know what I'm saying? And you have to give it to them within enough time before they lose their fucking interest.
Right.
You can only do don't change that channel, hold that dial for so fucking long. Ain't nobody gonna wait for another fucking year. Are you kidding me? First of all, COVID fucked timelines up for everything, right? So niggas, they want the content. You've had all this time now. They want the content. Now you're saying, oh, here it is, but
not really.
Not really. So we gotta wait another year for He-Man to maybe show. Like, fuck that shit, Joe. I'm good. And I love Kevin Smith. I love 99.9% of the shit that he fucking does.
Yeah, bro.
But
yeah. Like you gotta take all that into consideration. You dropping this after Castlevania, you're dropping this after Tresse. And this, I remember hearing about both of these, this before both of them. Like Tresse popped up, showed out, and said, we'll see you next time, all within while we were waiting for He-Man to happen. And Castlevania, I want to say by season 3, we knew that He-Man was on its way. So let's go back to 2019 at least. And now we got to wait, till 2020, 2022, late 2022, late 2020, or early 2023. Like, Marvel's going to be back in the theaters by then. Like, everybody going to be cured of this shit.
Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. Because think about it. What did you just say? You got Castlevania, which is Castlevania done, or are we expecting another?
It's about to get a spinoff, and they about to bring Dracula back with his girl. So it's got to compete against that.
Okay.
Tresse season 2, that shit's coming back.
Okay, and here's the difference. You talking about those two. They've already proven themselves. So niggas is gonna more likely be like, okay, I'm gonna fuck
with it.
He-Man, Yasuke, you know.
Yeah, that's the category it slides into.
When it comes to finding something to binge watch, right? That's an investment in time for a lot of people.
Bro, and then
so
just to your point, we know we're getting to season 2 for Loki. And Invincible is gonna be back by then.
Bro, hey.
It's over.
Hey,
it's over.
Invincible is shutting off. Look, I would go so far to say that if Invincible, as far as animated we've seen in the last,
that's the best one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that up there at least not number 2 at least number 2. Just because you can argue that something like Tresse or Castlevania could be a number 1, but nobody's going to care about He-Man.
It's not gonna be like, because He-Man is for us. Like, we are the demo.
He-Man for our age demographic. Yeah.
Right. So if we don't care, you think our kids gonna care? You think the little motherfuckers gonna care? Like, they're not in this swole shit.
Hey, we come from a generation of haters too. Let them come out with a season 2 and Junior want to watch it. Nah, son, we're not doing that.
Right.
Turn that shit to Disney Plus. That shit to Disney Plus.
Put that Loki on. Watch him go. Watch him try to fuck himself. This is way better than that.
Put that Simpsons season 32 on. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this He-Man. We ain't watching this shit.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon did some shit like, hey, here's Invincible season 2. And by the way, starting next month, boys, season 3, we back. Y'all can eat a dick. We'll see you on Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday. Like, that's who He-Man is competing against. They fucked up, bro. They fucked up. This should have been an easy win. Should have been an easy win. But it is what it is. We'll see. Because I can't even trust what I'm going to see with the trailer next time. So, but you know what? I think we need to move on.
We beat this shit to death.
We murdered this motherfucker.
You still moving? Bah!
Let's keep pushing. Let's just work through these as fast as possible because niggas got shit to do. All right. Batgirl actress has been cast for HBO Max movie. It was confirmed via The Wrap that In the Heights star Leslie Grace will be playing Barbara Gordon / Batgirl in the live action Batgirl solo movie exclusively for HBO Max. Now, B-Wall, I don't know about you, but I'm getting mad Urtha Kitt vibes with this choice, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's good, but if she's black, is Gordon gonna be a black person too?
Well, okay.
Or is she adopted? Are they gonna try to flip that? How does that work?
Adoption is always an option. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but I believe in another Gotham series, Jeffrey Wright is going to be Gordon. So if there's any sort of continuity, connective tissue with that, that might be the play. Because that is a good question. And as far as I know it, I have never seen Batgirl in anything canon that had her in color. Obviously, the Adam West show, but that wasn't canon. None of that was considered canon whatsoever.
That wasn't Batgirl. That Urtha Kitt was Catwoman.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. You're right.
Right.
Wait, and then the Batgirl on that, she was just a redhead. So yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I am wrong on that one. So yeah, it's either adoption or it's Jeffrey Wright, because otherwise, how would you get away with it? But HBO Max, I trust them. So did you see In the Heights? I didn't see it.
Is it on HBO right now?
I think it was a theater movie. Is it? I think it was in the theaters.
Is it a musical? Nope. I don't watch
like a Latin West Side Story.
I don't watch musicals on TV, nigga. If I'm gonna see a musical, I'm gonna be at the fucking theater. I'm not gonna watch a musical on TV. Fuck. Like, I don't like that kind of shit. I don't like that kind of shit, dog. Like, for some reason, it irritates me. A musical on TV, like, it hurts I don't like that shit. I don't have nothing against musicals. They're not my favorite genre of something to watch, of entertainment. But I can't watch a musical on TV. I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's like watching, I don't know, there's just certain things, if you're going to get the full experience, you got to be there. Musicals and baseball.
That's funny.
You got to fucking be there.
That's funny.
Real shit. I mean, it is what it yeah. I mean,
we're going to Japan. Okay. No, I get it. Let's keep rocking, man. We got caught up with this He-Man shit. Next up, Michaela Cole, or Michaela Cole, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, has joined the ensemble cast of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the hit Marvel film Black Panther. The character details have been locked up. We don't know what her role is going to be, but she'll be joining Coogler and them peoples down in Atlanta, because there is no Wakanda without Atlanta at the studio. B Wall, just so you know, and I think you've actually seen the show. She is from I May Destroy You, the critically acclaimed HBO Max series that received 4 Emmy nominations. She
Yeah,
was,
she's the
yeah.
British version of she's the British version of Insecure.
Did you see the show?
I've seen episodes of it, but there was another show she did that I really liked. I like her. She's really good.
Question, I'm asking this because I genuinely don't know. Is she trans? Is she like? Is that part of the whole play with her, or how does that? She just
man. I think she's a natural female.
Okay, all right.
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
she just got a. To me, she got a unique look, and I'm like, wait, okay.
Have you seen Chewing Gum? That's the show. I've never seen I May Destroy You, but Chewing Gum reminded me. It was 2 seasons. It came out in 2015, and then it reminded me a lot of Insecure. She was this real awkward black chick, but it was like British. Did you ever see that Chewing Gum? That's where I remember her from. I haven't seen How May Destroy You.
I haven't seen either one. I have not. But I'm happy, they're bringing more black people on. But the thing about this casting is, we don't know what her role is, right? But there's been talk that she may be replacing Letitia Wright because of the shit that went on with her. I don't know if you remember, she had a lot to say about vaccination and not getting vaccinated, and popped off on Twitter about a year or so ago.
And just because she plays someone intelligent on a movie doesn't make her very smart.
Right, because she had she was very forthright in her opinion about what was going on and how she felt about vaccination. And then she went and deleted all of her social media, Letitia Wright did. And nothing's been confirmed by Marvel or Disney about if she got fired or not, but they're not saying that she's there either. You know what I'm saying? So because no one knows what her role is going to be. So it's something to watch, something to look out for. And, I honestly feel bad for the production because it feels kind of like the sequels to Matrix. There's a lot, just the bad vibes around it. Hopefully Letitia's still on there, but you already know how I feel about Chadwick and that whole thing.
But Chad not being there is already going to change
it's like a dark cloud. Yeah.
I mean, and they made, like I said, here we go with these entities again. They made $1 billion off of the original because it was good. It was a good movie. I mean, it had the back end, like a lot of people were into this flick. They made $1 billion+ off of this thing. So it's almost like an obligation for the entity to try again.
Right.
But with a $1 billion movie, the follow-up, the pressure to make at least a good story, it's going to be very difficult.
I've heard that they've gone through 5 different scripts just for this one movie. So, I mean, I'm rooting for him, man. I really am. I don't know. I just don't, Coogler's in a tough position because even the political climate we talked about this probably 12 episodes ago, like, dealing with Atlanta and the voting rights and, production's leaving abruptly off of that, Will Smith, and his movie went to New Orleans. Ryan had to make a decision if he's going to stay in Atlanta and keep filming or if he's going to go somewhere else. Like, that's a lot. This shit is difficult. This shit is not easy. And, I really want to see success continue to happen for Black Panther. Although it is a white-owned property, I think it is important. But Wakanda is white. It's owned by white people. I need to remind everybody about that. I just think we need to keep that clear. But we need to still see, like, it still needs to happen. I think I need to find a way to support it because I'm still, I just don't like that shit. I don't like it at all. But let's keep rocking and rolling. Let's keep it going.
But old girl's a good actress, man. She'll be all right, whatever they put her in.
No, I agree. I agree.
If you can watch Chewing Gum, just catch Chewing Gum. It has a very insecure kind of feel to it.
Is that Max? Is that HBO Max? Is that Amazon? Which one is that on?
Chewing Gum. When did I see that shit? I want to say it was on HBO, but it could be Netflix.
I'll Google it. I'll check it out. It
came out in 2015, and I remember I wasn't trying to watch it at first, but I knew somebody that was watching it, and then I sat down and I got stuck on it. You know what I mean?
That's a good show then. That's a good show. Besides, He-Man's done. It's not like I honestly thought I'd be watching He-Man for the rest of the week, but they said no. Let's keep it pushing. Yasin Bey, aka Mos Def, will be playing.
Gangsta-licious. My flow's so vicious. Eat MCs all day. Delicious.
You gotta finish it. Go ahead. You gotta say
I don't remember the rest, bro. Like that was a struggle.
I see. I gotta come back now. I got shot.
I got shot. No,
nigga,
I got
shot. No, nigga, I got shot. No, nigga, for real, I got shot. No, nigga, for real, I got shot.
Got shot.
Yasin Bey will be playing the legend, Thelonious Monk, in the new biopic. Jupiter Rising Film, the production company headed by Peter Lord Moreland and Alberto Marzan, are set to begin production next summer on the movie. Let's see what else they got. The movie will focus around his struggles for musical success, mental illness, and the spiritual love triangle between his wife, Nellie, and one of the world's richest women, Nicole Rothschild. B. Walt, how you feeling about this one?
For those who don't know about Yasin Bey, aka Mos Def, he started out as an actor, became a rapper to make money while he was trying to get on for acting. A lot of motherfuckers don't know that shit. And it just so happened he was a dope rapper, so he did his thing. But he was always trying to be an actor. And I love this dude. He's a renaissance man, in my opinion, in our age. I like everything he does, man. Like his albums be fire. He can play one of the best MCs. Okay, and everything that I've seen him act in was at least a B. Not unlike some of his contemporaries who go from rapping to acting. Most is actually a solid acting. I can think of two movies that pop in my head where I really like him. He was in that Mark Wahlberg shit, The Italian Job. He was also,
shit, I forgot about that.
He was also in 16 Blocks.
16 Blocks is
I hated his voice in 16 Blocks. But he was good in 16 Blocks. He's done a lot of other shit that people may not have heard of, but those are two big ones that I'm pretty sure folks have heard of. I'm for anything dude does. Dude been cold since we was kids. He been doing his thing at least as an MC since we was kids. Only thing I don't like that he does, which it's not really bad, it's just not my cup of tea, is when he tries to sing. You know, he's a rapper and he's a killer rapper, but when he goes, I can't wrap myself around this shit. And he's made hot songs where he's singing on them. It's just for me, I can't. But like other than that, like I said, most is mad.
He talked. There's a skit on In Living Color with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson acting like security guards outside the club.
Yeah.
Mos Def's voice in 16 Blocks is Tommy Davidson outside the club in that skit. It's an entire movie of him sounding like that to me. That's what I hear. Okay, man. Like the entire and I kept asking myself, like, nigga, why are you speaking like that? Like, what's the motivation?
I don't
Like,
know,
it just
man. But yeah, man, I love most, dude. Most. Like I said, I was introduced to most as a rapper first, and like I'm trying to think of a verse that he came out with that I didn't think was hot. Like I can't even think of a verse that he came out with that I didn't think was hot. Like when he was guest appearing on people's shit, like he got a verse on the De La Soul Stakes is High album that sticks with me. I mean, he just one of those dudes that, like, I mean, I really consider him a Renaissance man in the sense that whatever he kind of gets involved in, he does it well. You know how like a lot of people try to become these multifaceted entertainers, and then they like to label the mogul thing on top of them, but then they suck in a lot of other shit that they try to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
good at this, homie. Like, but this other shit, not so much. But with
That
most,
ain't
like,
you.
with
That ain't
most,
you.
it's like, yeah, with most, it's like he's a dope ass rapper. He's way more than a solid actor, and the things that I've seen him in, um, you know, I'm with it. Even the little shit that he was doing on the Dave Chappelle shit was funny as hell. The little skits he was involved in on Dave Chappelle, the nigga was
Oh,
funny.
the racial draft? Come on, man.
Yeah, that shit is classic. That shit is classic, bro. That's one of the best shit, man. You know, yeah, I fucks with most.
I could take this down Common Street, but we don't have time, and we'll do that off camera. but
bro, he was in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He was in that.
I remember that. I never saw that, but I do remember being in that.
Bro, he was brilliant in that shit. You need to watch that shit. That's your homework assignment.
Oh,
he was brilliant in that shit.
Need to keep my mouth shut. All right, let's keep it pushing, goddammit, before I get some more homework. John Wick, the prequel, titled The Continental, announced to be 3-part event series. Yes, indeed. Albert Hughes is set to direct 2 of the 3 episodes for the prequel. This is all according to The Hollywood Reporter, a 3-part event series. Hughes and Derek Kolstad, who created the franchise, will EP all 3 episodes. The prequel will be set 40 years before the events of the first John Wick film, centering around Ian McShane's character, Winston. The story follows Winston and begins with him as a hitman wholesaler who, along with others, create a haven for unsavory types, all set against a backdrop of 1970s New York. I like it. This will be released on Stars, while the 4th film, John Wick 4, will be dropping May 27th, 2022. B. Waltz, we are Wick fans around here. I believe so. We're also Ian McShane fans. What do you think about this equation?
We are Ian McShane fans. We are Wick fans. My question was, but you answered it, was whether or not John Wick was going to be in it. 40 years prior to the shit that went down, he's not going to be in it. But based on who they're, but is in okay, if it's done 40 years, Ian McShane is too old to take 40 years off of him, even with CGI. So they're gonna have to find another dude to play young Winston.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
too old.
Right.
I'll watch it because I like the John Wick universe, but I'm gonna have to walk into the shit like, no expectations, because you don't know. Like, now, if we knew Ian McShane was gonna be in the shit, then it's like, okay, because I fucks with dude. I like him in a lot of shit that I've seen him in. Most recently, right. I think it was American Gods that I watched him in.
He was dope, and I saw season 1 American Gods. I didn't see season 2 because they fucked up the money. But
you don't need to see any more than season 1.
Or no, I think I watched. Was it 2 that they did? Was it 2 or season 3? They brought in like new showrunners and shit. Was that?
You ask, like, I always approach the shit as a fan. I don't know all that shit. All I'm saying is after season one, I mean, Ian McShane is good throughout, but after season 1, it kind of
right. because I remember binging the whole thing and then whatever. But back to this. Huge fan, Ian McShane. Even when he did his, he had the spot in Game of Thrones. And then you prompted me to ask myself, well, you're right. It can't be him 40 years because even if they did the Irishman CG, that's 40 years. You can't shave that off. So then, like, who are we talking? Oscar Isaac as a young Winston? Then, like, who plays him?
That is the new dude that they slide in everything, ain't it?
It's either him or your man from Narcos, the Mandalorian. But he gonna be doing the Mandalorian.
He don't even look like Ian, but he don't even look close to being Ian McShane. Nah, man, it has to be somebody else.
I mean, they could do some shit. They could do that shit around his eyes, stick some shit, make the pupils pop. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking of brown gentlemen that could do it. Young brown gentlemen. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna fuck with the series. I'm in. I think somebody I know got stars. I hope so.
Black as fuck headquarters got stars.
I thought it did, but I don't like to assume. It's been a while. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. And then you never know, man. We might see Common as a little baby, like falling down some stairs and shit, making some mediocre raps. Anything is possible. Anything.
Look.
I had to. I didn't get to say nothing about him in the Yasin Bay.
You and I can both agree that Common is not a good actor because I don't think he's a good actor. When you talk about this nigga rapping, cut that shit out.
Let's keep pushing. Oh man! All right.
Mute your ass for 15 seconds. Nigga.
Shit. Common. It's so common. Next topic. Dead Space is getting a remake. The visceral game survival horror classic, originally released in 2008, is being remade by Electronic Arts Motive Studio. The publisher announced during last week's EA Play Live digital showcase. The new Dead Space is coming to PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X. Now, I've seen this for about 2 weeks, and I said, no, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to. And then they dropped the trailer, and I peeped the trailer, and I want to know what your thoughts are because I know how I feel about Dead Space as from your perspective, B. Walt. What do you feel about all of this?
Dead Space had what, three titles?
Yeah, it did.
I only played the first one. I really liked the first one because I remember she was pretty difficult. It took you a while to be able to get to the point to where you weren't scared to go to certain rooms and shit. You know how survival horror goes, right? It's like, man, I got this pistol with 7 shots, and I gotta get all the way over there with this motherfucking pistol. And Dead Space did a good job with that, right? Even with the lighting and stuff, I remember because I haven't played that game since 2008. But I remember all that shit. I really fucking enjoyed. I actually owned it. I forget which system I had it on, but I did own it and I played it. It was solid. So I could see a remake coming out. My question is, because it's going to be on this next gen shit, how close is it going to be to the feel of Returnal? Because Returnal is kind of similar to that, but Returnal survival horror, but
that's a bit more sci-fi heavy though, right? Isn't it?
It's sci-fi heavy as a motherfucker, and you don't have to worry about running out of bullets. So there's a huge, but can they, my question is, when it comes out, can they, basically thrive in the same space? Because I see similarities in it.
Right. I mean, so my history and lack of history with movies, right? And since playing Dead Space 1, 2, and 3, and even the shooter the one that was the first person like time zone shooter from back in the day. If you played Doom, then you played Dead Space. If you've watched Alien, you played Dead Space. If you watched Aliens, you played Dead Space. If you played Resident Evil 4, you played Dead Space. Because all those franchises heavily influenced the first game in particular, the second game, the third game not so much. If you played Contra, that's what the third game is, and that's why it's shit. Because the first two was Resident Evil in space. That's how it felt. It had that vibe. The third one is fucking Contra. They turn Isaac isn't a soldier. He's an engineer. He was using his tools to fucking survive, which all played into the context of the gameplay. Because as you remember, you didn't kill them just by blowing them away. You had to cut off their limbs. So it added just enough a level like, oh shit, I really got to pay attention. Right. On top of my ammo, I got to really pay attention.
And the gun he had wasn't even a real gun, right? In the beginning,
it was a plasma cutter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to get close enough to the damn thing to actually do some damage. Yeah. That's what made the shit.
Right. It was good season. They scrapped all that in the third one. The third one is fucking trash. And it's only like the only thing that makes it even viable is it's co-op. But other than that, it's really trash. Like I can go on days about this. Look, I'm a Dead Space OG. I've got a platinum in the first one. I've got a platinum in the second one. And anybody knows who's got a platinum in the second one knows that means I did hardcore mode. That means I saved 3 times in that fucking game to get that fucking trophy. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Dead Space. I don't fuck with EA anymore. So it's hard for me to really get excited about this. All they have to do is up the graphics. They should have a great game. If they do anything they did with the third one, fuck them and fuck that game. So it says it's supposed to be, a better enhanced version of the OG. But if that's the case, then I don't have a reason to play it then because I've already done all that. So that's where I am with it. But yeah, I got them back to back. So you bitches, so y'all can eat a dick because I know you didn't do it. I know you didn't. Let's keep going. Let's see. Let's push through this. That He-Man shit took up a whole lot of time. This just happened, I believe, 3 days ago, actually. Michael B. Jordan will be developing his own Black Superman project. Guess for who? HBO Max. His production company, Outlier Society, they're developing it with the story centering around Earth 2 Superman, which is Val Zod. That's key. And sources have since reached out to clarify that as of right now. It is, in fact, a limited series that Jordan will produce and possibly even star in. He's going to star in the shit. It makes too much sense. And even though that has not been yet, that's not been confirmed as of yet. I know you don't like. Did you just mute me? Did you? Okay. I was like, I know you don't like Superman, but you don't hate B. Jordan like that, right?
What's Michael B. Jordan, man?
Okay.
I've been fucking with him since
The Wire.
Even before The Wire, when he was in that baseball movie with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, was it Hardball?
Hardball.
Yeah.
Filmed it in the shot.
Oh, how about that?
In the shot. I like Michael B. Jordan. I just don't like Superman.
Okay, I get that. Now this is. I know you don't do DC, and I really don't either. But I guess for this moment, I'm the local genius. But Val Zod is the Earth 2 canon Superman, who is black, which is different than what J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates are doing, where they're just making the motherfucker black. They're making Clark Kent black for whatever reason. So what are your thoughts about, this new project, limited series, HBO Max, Michael B. Jordan? What's the vibes you getting?
I like Michael B. Jordan, man. So I'm with any project that he's trying to do. I hope it's successful. I hope it's successful, but I don't like Superman, so I'm probably not gonna watch it. I mean, if it's on HBO Max, right?
Yep.
I would watch it before I watch the new Space Jam, but that's not saying much because I'm not watching the new Space Jam.
I know that's
I
not
don't.
saying, but that's funny. You so funny.
I just don't like Superman. Like I can't get behind Superman. I can't get behind Superman. The idea of Superman was created during a time that's not even relevant anymore. I just don't like Superman. I can't get with it. And people be mad like, oh, well, if it wasn't for Superman, wouldn't be when you had these other comics and shit. Fuck. Okay, fine. Niggas ain't sitting in the first chair that was ever made anymore. We got lazy boys now. It don't fucking matter. Like, fuck Superman, Joe. Like, for real. But I hope it does well because that's MBJ. That's MBJ doing it. But, fuck. I don't care.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's keep going. We got some more video game news. Big rumor, big rumor. There was a leak from NetherRealm, the creators of Mortal Kombat, and the leak was about surrounding their roster for a Marvel fighting game that has not happened yet. Now, for those that don't know, for somehow, some way, the people that made Mortal Kombat have already done a DC fighting game with the license officially. So this isn't something, this ain't lightweight shit. And the character list includes, you ready, B?
Go ahead.
Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Wolverine, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Groot, and Rocket as a duo, Blade, Gamora, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Gambit, Shang-Chi, Kitty Pryde, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, Hulk, Scar, Doc Ock, Blob, Mojo, Bullseye, Mephisto, Daken, Arnim Zola, Venom, Abomination, Deacon Frost, and Madam Mosk. Nigga.
So is it coming out? Is it coming out or not?
I hope so. Did you hear the names? Like,
you had me from the first three. But what I'm saying is it coming out or not?
Well, let's see what we got here. All right. The rumors suggest that the Mortal Kombat developer NetherRealm Studios is working on a Marvel fighting game that includes all the characters I just listed. Beyond that already bursting roster, Comic-Con throwaway also mentions that Deadpool will be offered as pre-order bonus. Nigga, are you kidding me? The first DLC pack will include Daredevil, Cyclops, Raiden, and Kylo Ren. They're jumping into the other shit that Disney owns. It's worth noting that NetherRealm has dropped several hints that it may be working on a Marvel-based project. In April, Ed Boon, Toasty, vice president and creative of NetherRealm Studios, said that he and Marvel had a conversation about developing a fighting game. Quote, I probably shouldn't talk about it. We would love to make a Marvel fighting game or Marvel or DC or Marvel versus DC. That would be the coolest, said Boom. Nigga, that's about as close to it happening without it happening, what I'm talking about it, and it happened. Like, it makes too much sense. Like, too much. Too much. Um, yeah, I think Disney's finally gonna pull out their big black animation dick and put all their franchises together. The guys that make Mortal Kombat are gonna be the ones that make sure it climaxes. um, so yeah, we'll see. I'm in. I'm in. I'm in. That's crazy. That's crazy. They'll probably do Marvel first on its own, and then Marvel versus DC, because they've already done the DC joint a couple times actually. You don't really mess with fighting games like that, though, do you?
Certain ones. Certain ones. I fuck with it if they came out with that shit. But I'm not holding my breath for it.
I know you got He-Man to watch.
Fuck that
All right.
shit.
All right.
I'd rather watch Superman over He-Man.
Let's see. We need to do one more. All right. Last but definitely not least, we started with Netflix, let's end with it. Leaks pointing to a PlayStation and Netflix game streaming collaboration is some of the hot news coming from gamerant.com. Apparently, this is something that Sony's definitely excited about to challenge Microsoft's Game Pass. Sony has spent the last decade building the Netflix-esque PlayStation Now. Despite being the first mainstream game streaming service, the player base that actively subscribes to it is super low. To make matters worse, the Game Pass for Xbox, I know people literally have the Xbox because of the Game Pass.
That's me.
They've surpassed 20 million subscribers on Game Pass. We've talked about Netflix jumping into games before. This all makes sense from both sides because they both fucked up in different ways. B. Walt, how do you feel? What are you thinking?
That's one of those you have to wait and see what happens. Because PlayStation Now, that's what we're talking about. For PlayStation Now, they don't even have the number of titles available. The Xbox Game Pass does. Because I've seen both sides. They don't have. It's not like they have a bad selection. It's just that when you're talking about the sheer numbers, you go over, you look at Xbox Game Pass, bro. They put their new shit on there. Like the shit that just came out. They like, you know what? NBA 2K21, bam, here you go. Like they put their new shit on there almost immediately after release. And from what I've seen personally, because you know how with any kind of streaming service, eventually they change titles and pull them off.
They cycle them out.
Yeah. But I've had this Xbox Game Pass shit for some months now. And there's games that I've downloaded over to the box that I ain't even touched, but they still there. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't taken them off. Like I feel like when you're talking gaming, I think PlayStation does it better overall than Xbox does. Xbox tries to do too much. They want to pull all this other shit in that does not necessarily have to do with gaming. And so it fucks their shit up in that respect. So PlayStation wins when you're talking about just gaming. But when you're talking about access to shit and like the Xbox is beating PlayStation with that. Like Game Pass, that shit is dope. Matter of fact, I just got a reminder that I paid my little $15 a month for that shit to stay current for this month. That shit is cold, bro. Like,
and that's the thing. The price point, the amount of games, how they approach it. Sony fucked up, in my opinion, because, well, if you go back a couple generations, right? Like let's go back to the PS2 for a moment. When the Xbox came out, they were coming from a PC culture and a PC environment. So they knew what to do with the online community. They were ahead of the game when it came between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as they moved on to different generations of the series, it didn't really, you knew like if you was gonna do the first persons, you was gonna do it on Xbox because you knew where they were coming from. Like PC players that were just exclusively PC, if they were going console, they were going Microsoft, they were going to Xbox because they knew what, they knew where the connection was. When Sony finally started getting their online shit going, they dropped the PlayStation Plus membership, but they didn't put the Game Pass with that. When Microsoft already had that in play. So they made it a separate thing. And it's kind of like, I think since you got it separate for Sony, it's almost like it's you're taking resources to do one thing from the other thing, and neither one has really had a chance to come up. Because for instance, like when Virtua Fighter dropped, how I feel about Virtua Fighter. They pushed it. If you had PlayStation Plus, you could get it for free that month. But then later, after I got it, I found out that I could get it off the PlayStation Now. So it's like it's defeating the purpose. I think it's working against itself. They should have been both. It's kind of like in this metaphor, in my mind, Sony is DC and Microsoft is Marvel. They did it correctly. Sony didn't want to do it like that because they wanted to be different, and they're not getting it right. They fucking up, and now they've had to collaborate with Netflix, who is fucking up with He-Man, and they're not the only streaming platform on the block anymore. So it's kind of like a band-aid solution to something that should have been really simple, in my opinion. So that's basically how I see it.
We'll have to see what happens when they do it. I mean, but yeah, Netflix. Netflix is continuously falling down my list of the top streaming apps anyway. So I mean,
bro.
And it's not just me that's saying it. So Netflix got to do things to stay
Stay in the culture,
stay in the game, not be
because
booted out
they're
the
not
game.
getting.
So
yeah, the subscribers, it ain't what it used to be. It's just not. It's just not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. And
we'll see.
Like I said, when it comes to, because I've never been a PC gamer. That isn't my thing. So when you're talking about gaming, I think PlayStation still wins that. But when you're talking about everything else, like the hardware, the access to shit, Microsoft, because Microsoft tries to push their Xbox out or their Xbox iterations out like full on entertainment systems, right? They try to include all these things in there, not just the game. Like
right, I see what you're saying.
Right. I feel like that's where they do too much. Like I feel like if they kept their shit just, well, at least they come out with something else for all that other shit. Just for gaming purposes, keep that, because the Xbox is, if I'm not mistaken, the Xbox is the newer version is more powerful than PlayStation.
I think it's got a few more ponies under the hood.
Yeah.
Than the 5 does. So and you can get an Xbox right now. You still can't get a 5 right now.
You focus, if PlayStation, Xbox just focus on gaming, man, they would probably win that back and forth battle. It's like both of them have these limitations that they're trying, I guess, to mitigate, but it just kind of seems like
it's very roundabout in terms of the solution to me. Because if Now and PlayStation Plus were the same thing, on top of everything that we talked about Sony offers in terms of their games, they would kill Microsoft, but they don't approach it that way.
And if Microsoft only focused on gaming, they would probably kill. It's like they get in front of themselves. It's understandable though.
Yeah.
the end of the day, you're the gamer, you're the individual. This is the entity. They're trying to make money, and they're trying to go down different avenues to make money. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see whether or not PlayStation can pull off. I don't see. I don't know. All they got to do is switch it up. Why get involved with Netflix at all? Just switch their shit up.
It seems unnecessary to me.
Add more titles. See, because what the Game Pass does, right? Xbox, I believe, only goes back one generation. I mean, excuse me, PlayStation only goes back one generation with the games that are available on now. I believe they only go back to the 3.
Well, you're right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Xbox goes back. Like, you can get some old shit on there, dude. Like,
right. They got all of Sega's like entire catalog, right? Or some shit like that.
I gotta go look, but I know they got a hell of a lot more selection than PlayStation does on there now. And like I said, they are not stingy about a lot of their new shit. PlayStation now is not gonna put no new shit on there. I haven't seen anything new on PlayStation now. Like within the last 6 months.
They had a couple bumps. They did Red Dead Redemption 2.
But that ain't new.
That's not new.
Years.
No, and the thing is, to me, like I just got my PlayStation Plus back after a while, and they getting real tight on like the titles. Like they not them AAA heavy hitters. Like you look at what they were doing in 2020 when they know nobody could go anywhere, as opposed to what they've been releasing this year. Huge difference. Like you could get all Final Fantasy VII, the whole thing, if you had Plus last year. I ain't seeing titles like that. I'm not seeing heavyweights like that. And I think, yeah, it's just weird. Like now and Plus for Sony should be one thing that I believe could compete with Game Pass. And it doesn't need to be in front of Game Pass because you have a better selection of games coming to the console itself. Like, I'm a Sony guy and I like their exclusive. But I don't know. Like you said, we'll see. But that is the end of our episode today. Episode 25 is in the books. We are done. B-Wald is completely masked up. He is completely 6 feet. He is doing this whole quarantine style. We can't even see his face. Last night I murdered a rock. Sorry, little Muhammad Ali just popped out right there. This is Brotherhood Language, approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as Fuck. BLACKAZFUK. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. The website is www.blackafhq.com. You can join us every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to be a part of the show. Come in, hang out, talk your shit. Because we will. We do. That's what we do. B-Wald, any while you flicking the lights on and off, any final words? Okay. And we end on a Thank you. We appreciate you. Deuces. Have a good night.
And we will stop recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Brotherhood Language, approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as Fuck.